Alright guys, well, I'm doing a little work inside and I didn't record it all, but I'm pulling these clips off because they're going to wreck my sander and they're going to block me from getting the rust off of there. They are a little bit under the rubber. I got to put them on before I put the window rubber back in. What's going on here? There must have been another clip there at some point that's not there anymore. Yeah, but they pull out pretty hard. Don't smash yourself in the face with this pliers when you're doing this, guys. I probably broke a couple back in the day when I was trying to work on the car before. Oh yeah, here we go. I think I'll leave those ones till later. But the back ones, I got to get the back ones too. I also got to take this chrome out of here and the dripper I'll chrome off so I don't sand it. But I've got to strip this roof. I'm not going to get the primer on it today, but I want to get it as close to ready for primer as I can. I don't know if I can get this one off. I won't smash myself in the lips with this pair of pliers. Look, there's rust there. Holy crap. That is in there. I know I could take the window out. I kind of want to keep the window in for now, just to keep the sand out of the car. Yeah. So, yeah, it's a bit of a pain in the ass. But I'm pretty sure that I can get them out. Yeah, see, there's rust there. I want to get this stuff off of it. I want to get rid of the rust. Do not want to punch myself in the lips because they'll hurt. I got some up here. These will come off fairly easily, I would think. But they got to go. They got to come off of there. Holy crap. That is on there. Yeah, but oh, the long ones go on the top, eh? I was thinking, geez, you know, maybe I'll paint that later. But, you know, there's no chance. It is completely rusted. It's got to come down to metal. So here we go. Okay, so that you guys can see what I see. See if I can find a spot. There's a spot right here. Man, 100%. It's rust. I knew it was rust. There's nothing I can do about it except for take it off, you know, spot blast it with my blaster. Now I'm gonna have to re-sand this after I'm done sanding this because it's gonna flash rust before I can get it all cleaned up. But I'm gonna spot blast each one of these spots the same day. and then I'm going to zinc prime it, and it will not rust again. That will be the end of it. It will never rust again. So it's going to take some time to rip this all off, but that's the way she goes. Now the sparks from my sanding with the 40 grit, they'll wreck glass, right? And I don't want to wreck my glass. I'm going to reuse the glass, so I'm just going to cover up my windows, at least on this side. Anyways, a little bit with some paper. Just enough to keep the sparks off of it, right? I can put this back there. I got some overspray on there, that's nice. But that's okay. It's not the end of the world. I don't know how I got the overspray on there. Probably when I was priming something else. Who knows? It's hard to say. But anyways, yeah. So cover your glass because you'll spark it and you'll wreck it. Right? It doesn't look like those sparks are very hot, but I tell you, any kind of spark hitting glass is going to pit it. And it's not repairable once it's pitted. So there you go. There's your tip for today. And I think I'm going to cover up the front one too, because I really don't want to wreck my windows. Just wondering why would you strip off all that beautiful paint? That was really beautiful paint. This is why. You can see it has the evilness growing underneath it, and it was bubbling and spidering. And I'm going to have to sandblast every one of these little guys with my little spot blaster. I'm going to be spending like an hour or two doing that, just on just the spots, right, to get them all, because there's like a whole bunch of them. I tried to grind them out before, and I did pretty good, man. I painted this back in the 90s. This whole roof was really rusty because I was laying top on it, and it wasn't painted. It was just had the top glued onto it. But now I'm going to strip her back down. I'm going to sandblast the little rusties out of it. And it looks like it's time for me to go back inside here any second, because it's coming for me again. Man, it doesn't look very nice anymore. I hope I can find the same color. I can't remember what color that is. That sucks. I'm going to save a little piece that I can scan with their color computer and see if I can get a color match off of it. Welcome back. It's Monday. Look at the freaking rust pits. Oh my god. They said that DP40 would stop this from happening again, and it did not do it. Anyways, I got a lot done, and I'm going to do some more. We're progressing rapidly. Well, not really, but we're progressing anyways. This is a knuckle buster sander. If you get your fingers by that counterweight when it's spinning, you will never do it again. You will regret the very fact that you even laid eyes on this thing. It will make your finger hurt so bad, you'll never ever do it again. You can also lock this wheel and turn it into a grinder like I was doing. But this is my favorite kind of sander. It's best for feather edging. I'm cleaning this, all the leftover off of here. Sorry you can't hear me through the mask. I thought I had my camera on. My camera was off. And so I'm not taking my gear off just to do this. So dust mask is very important, or you'd be an old guy that's just winded like I am. Anyways, here we go, back to her. guys, I know I'm not the only car buff here. Why don't you drop me a comment and let me know what you're working on? I mean, I don't care if it's a Mustang or not. I love old stuff. Preferably old stuff. I mean, some of you guys' old stuff is going to be it's trash stuff, but I mean, it is what it is, right? You get different generations of different hot rods. So if you'd be so kind, I'm curious what you're working on. What do you like? Have you got any skills? You got any tips for me? I'm not too old to learn. Okay? I got a lot of knowledge, but there's a lot of other people, and some people have different knowledge. So don't be afraid to share it. And that's yeah. If you would like, throw a like on the video and subscribe would be wonderful. You don't have to. I'm gonna keep making content whether you guys subscribe or give me likes or not. It doesn't matter to me. It does matter to me, but it doesn't matter to me. I'm gonna do my car anyhow, so you guys might as well join me for the ride. Look at how straight this is. Look at the reflection. This is like from 1991 too, so there's a little bit of shrinkage, but look at the reflection of that building or that trailer. I mean, I picked a lamp pole across the street from where I was block sanding it. It was a wet sanding it, and if there was any deviation at all, I wasn't done. I mean, there's a little deviation now, but by standards, it's pretty darn straight, and it's going to be that straight again. Right on, guys. There we go, guys. Let's see what we got. I'm dusty. Anyways, the car is dusty too. Let's get some of the dust on it. I missed a couple of spots. A little moisture coming on my line. That's not good. That's okay. That's all I gotta go. Get off of there. Let's go. That's almost enough for me for today, guys. So there we have it. I'm played out. I think I'm going to call this a night, and we'll be back at her again. Alright, guys. Sorry about the crappy video audio. I'm wearing my mask for obvious reasons here. I'm going to do some sandblasting. I got a bunch of rust around the back window. I want to get rid of that. I've covered up the windows and such. Trying to keep the sand out of the car as much as I can. And let's do this. This is taking a lot longer than I expected because the thickness of the rust is so thick. I'm going to need to re-blast it before I can prime, but I'm getting off the heavy stuff right now. So I'm doing the majority of the blasting. It's just going to take a light blast afterwards. This is time-consuming stuff, guys, but it's going to be worth the result. Well, that's hot, nasty work, guys. I think my camera was running and I shut it off thinking it was off. You guys really need to wipe the sand out of your eyes. I need to take a break. This is really hot work. Holy man, it's taking a lot longer than I expected. Hope you guys are enjoying the videos. I'm taking a break. For a drive, guys. I had to turn the car around. I can't pull her in the shop like this. It just won't work for me. Right there, that was the longest drive I've had this car on in over 20 years. You seen it here first. And boy, she likes to spin her tires. I hardly touched the gas pedal and it spun the tires a few times, but I feel like I accomplished a little bit tonight. Yeah, I should have this ready and have some stuff mixed up and brush it on to get it on there quick before it starts to flash rust, and then finish the roof later. But I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm going to just do it all and get the heavy stuff off, and then I'll just give it a light blast, and then I'll blow it all off, mask it, and friggin' spray it. I could even have paper on it before I give it the blow off job. Well, we're back at it again, another day. I spent a bunch of time setting up the car. I'm going to do some blasting in here. Use this to deflect. I've covered my glass. I'm going to finish this in here. I'm not going to shoot video while I'm spraying sand because it's too hard on the cameras. But you already seen what I do with the sandblaster gun. If you watch a trunk video, if you haven't, I'll link it in the description so that you can see how it works. I'm going to clean up in here as well. Well, this side doesn't look as bad, but I've covered up the side glass in my Toyota so I don't blast it. And I also rigged up myself a nice little camera stand for later. It goes way up there. I'd like to clean up this heavy rust. I'm not going to get this primed today, but I'd like to clean up the heavy rust. This is going to require a sanding job before I prime. It doesn't look rusty to you, but I know that it's flash rusted. I was thinking about taking a paint marker and dabbing them so that I can identify them. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. I was thinking about doing this just on the little spots because they're so hard to see, right? If I just go like that, then I know where I have to hit with the blaster, because it's really, I don't want to miss any. So I might spend an hour and a half doing this, off camera of course. Just the little spots, because the little spots is what caused me the problem, right? And I know that I have to hit all these little spots with the sandblaster gun. Then I won't have to look for them while I'm doing it. I'll make my life easier while I'm doing it, because I can just see the white spot and I know. And I mean, there's some pretty tiny stuff here, but it'll come back to haunt you. I did this back in the 90s. I didn't have the speed blaster gun. You can see the grinder marks here and there. Like here, this is where grinder. I took a grinder. I didn't dare go too deep. I didn't want to go through the roof, right? And so I grounded as much as I dared, but I'm going to speed blast it now. And it's going to take care of it. This haul needs to go. I spent a whole bunch of time blasting here. I'm not going to spend a lot of time filming because I need to get something on this before it starts to rust again. So this is what we've got. I'm not doing the top, just doing the drip rails and the spots like that. I cleaned it up a lot. There's still little black spots, but it's not anywhere near as bad as it was. I can get this in the shop because it's too much pollen floating around here, and brush some stuff on it. Or I should just brush it on out here. Okay, well, I've got way too much here. Well, I don't know what I did with my paintbrush. That's wonderful. I want my paintbrush and now I can't find it. Oh boy, there it is. I used 5 of these to 1 activator. That's how I do for small quantities at work. It works for me. I didn't need to use a stir stick, which would have made me way too much more than I wanted. I'm going to brush this on. It's not the ideal way to do it, but it's going to work for me, and it's going to get good coverage in one coat without a whole bunch of masking, because time is really of the essence here. As I'm pissing around with this video and all the other stuff that I'm doing while I'm doing this, getting ready to go, that is flash rusting. Let's stop some rust. Let's stop it. Let's stop this cold. We're going to stop this rust. This is really good stuff, guys. I know it looks ugly, and it is kind of ugly, but it is going to stop this stuff cold. Stop the rust that is presently trying to form on it right now. Dead cold. It's going to stop it dead cold, and that's what I'm after. So this has got a very high zinc content in it. I'm going to do probably a few spots up on the roof that I blasted as well, because I can sand that and it will be fine. I'm going to do all the way down in here. That's why I left that paper on there. And don't really care what it looks like. I just care that it stops the rust. And I don't want to take my window out to blast this, so then I ruin my headliner. So for now, I'm pretty safe, right? That's why I did it the way I'm doing it. It's not ideal, but it's the best that I can think to do with it right now to get the desired results, and that is to stop the rust. And this should do the job. It should stop the rust. Putting lots on. Oh yeah, way more than I need, but you don't see this part of the car. I don't really care if it's totally smooth. I just want it to not rust. That's the goal. Stop the rust. Stop the rot from continuing. And I hope you guys can see this. I mean, I'm trying, guys. I'm really trying. I really want to do a good job on my car. And I also really want to do a decent video for you guys. Look at that guy slop that stuff on there. Look at that guy go. Oops, I'm going to have to blast some of that again. I just want to get around the corner here because there was a little bit starting on the corners. I'll sand it right flat to the corner anyways. It'll be okay. If there's a pit that's been blasted, this stuff will be in it. This should stop this. Last time it didn't stop. This time that should stop it. It should stop it cold. So that's what we're doing. We're stopping the rust. This is done rusting. This is not going to rust anymore. With a very high zinc content. And yes, I'm going to sand it off right up to the edge when I sand the corner to make it pretty, and then I'm going to probably put another coat of this over top, so it's not going to matter if I sand it all off. They recommend 80 grit if you're going to sand for this stuff, or a sandblast profile. So the sanding that I've done is probably a little on the fine side. There's going to be some runs there. That's okay. It's going to stop the rust. Stop the rust. Look at, there's holes right through that. That's going to stop that cold. It's going to stop the rust. And now, won't stop it forever, but it'll stop it for longer than I'm going to be around for, and probably longer than the guy around after me is going to be around for. So that's what we're up to, guys. Hope you guys are enjoying the videos. I'm trying my best to do good content. It's really hard to make exciting bodywork content. I'm sure you can see I've been out here for hours in the sun sandblasting here, and I didn't record that for you guys. I recorded little bits and pieces the other day, but I don't want to drive you guys over the edge with boredom, so I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Like, it is what it is. It's not an exciting occupation. It can be very rewarding, but it's not really exciting to watch. It's not like a hockey game where, you know, there's a score, you know. The result is really slow to get to here, but I'm giving a good result. This is going to stop this cold. I mean, there's a little bit of black starting up there. It does not take long for this stuff to start rusting again. Once it starts to rust, rust never sleeps. But this will put it in for a good nap anyhow. It's going to have a nap on me. Look at this. It's going to just fill that right in. This is really good stuff, guys. I know it looks horrible, but I'm going to sand it. So, and underneath the molding, I'm not terribly worried about. I just want to stop the rot. And yes, I'm going to brush some on here. And I'm going to sand that all off. It's okay. I just wanted to get rid of the rust pits, and I've done that. The rust pits are gone. bugs when I got everything else. Look at the flies and the friggin' flies and the... Yep. This is only just for bare metal. It's going to do the job for the bare metal. It's going to get primed and sanded. It's going to keep it from rusting ever again, guys. That's the whole plan here. That is it. That's all there is to it. What a waste. I'd like to put primer surfacer on there, but thank you, Mother Nature, for all the pollen. Lumpy. It's sealed up anyways. Beautiful. I wasted a bunch, but as you guys can see, the pollen has made a real nice mess. But this stuff's not meant to be pretty. This stuff's meant to prevent the rust from forming ever again. And I blasted the rust out. I'm going to have to sand this. You know, it looks pretty straight. I think when I do, maybe tomorrow I'll sand this and I'll put some high solids primer on it. And we'll see what we got. I got a little bit of prep work to do here and there. I didn't really want to get rid of the entire color of the green that was on there before so that I could identify it, but I may lose that. We'll see. Anyways, I gotta clean my gun before something bad happens to it. Well, the fuzz, man, the wind started blowing when I was spraying this epoxy, and holy smokes, she's toasty warm now. Holy man, it's dry already. Whoa, that's hot to the touch. This stuff is cooked. The sun has cooked it. That's okay. I will sand it tomorrow, and if it's not raining or fuzzing, I will give it a coat of primer surfacer. I don't think that's too hot. You can't prime that. It's just too warm. Some of that is a little fresh. Yeah, I put lots down there because in there there's a little seam, and I wanted to make sure something was in there. I'll probably sand off most of the stuff that's just on the pillar itself. But this is what we got going on, guys. That is never going to rust again. I've got the rust pits cleaned out. There's some fairly deep ones, as you can see. But I got them cleaned out with the glass bead, and they've got zinc epoxy primer on them, and that is going to stop the rust. So this will never rust like it did before again. So that's kind of nice.